Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and on this channel we talk about building spiritual confidence so you can listen to your intuition and read your tarot cards with ease. So I'm going to spin the camera around now because we're going to talk about the High Priestess, my favorite card, and we're going to be looking at the symbolism in this card. And I can't tell you how fabulous the symbolism is in this particular card in terms of learning about the tarot and also increasing your spiritual knowledge. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about tarot symbolism and symbolism in general, don't go away because I'll be right back. Around we go. Bye-bye. So let's have a look at the High Priestess card. So just before we start, I just want to quickly show you, I've got all of my notes to do with the High Priestess all typed up for you, looking swish, so that you can download them and have them. Because invariably, when I do these sorts of things, people ask me, they want the notes. And I thought, if I don't do it, everyone's going to ask for them. If you want my notes and my cheat sheets, this is a basic cheat sheet to help you when you're reading, plus the worksheet, which helps you just absorb the card. And we'll be talking about how to learn the tarot in some subsequent videos. And when I talk about that, I'll talk about the power of writing, which is just such a powerful way to absorb the cards. And I've got lots of worksheets in my Etsy shop, and I will put some links to all of that down in the comments so that if you feel like going over and having a look at these, you can. So they're my notes. I'm going to put them over here because I'm going to refer to them because there's a lot to remember. So let's have a look at the High Priestess and the symbolism within this card and how this symbolism helps us understand a little bit more about the card meaning, and also helps you read any card, helps you read any tarot card, because the symbolism is the same across disciplines in spirituality. You might get a little bit of variance, but not a lot. And you might think, oh gosh, Elizabeth, I'm only at video 3 and there just seems to be so much to remember. But as you take this journey with me and we look at all the cards, you'll start to see the symbolism repeat and you'll be like, hey, I can actually look at that card and I know what it means. So it's a really powerful thing to do. So we are at card number 2, which is the High Priestess. So 2, let's think about 2 and what 2 means. 2 is about balance of opposites. So as much as we're looking at the High Priestess being a card about feminine power, intuition, and being in your sense of understanding both your conscious and your unconscious, but mainly in this card, your unconscious. This card is about balance of opposites or choices. So if we think about the Hebrew letter, I'll just bring this back in so you can see it. The Hebrew letter, which is Gamel, this is about your freedom to choose between good and evil. It's about how you walk in the world, how you make your choices in the world. And if we look at the Tree of Life, and we know that the tarot links back to the Kabbalah, you can see that the pathway, it's Gemel, or from Ketha, which is the crown of the Tree of Life, through to the center, passing through Darth, and there's and Darth is not actually part. It's part of the Tree of Life, but it's not part of the Hermetic Kabbalah. So we pass straight through it, but I've got it there so you know it's there. Straight through to Tippereth, which is beauty. So it's about how you are in the world. Are you proud of what you represent in the world? So That's our Hebrew meaning. And again, you don't need to remember this. In fact, the more you relax and don't try to remember it, the more you will remember it. It's more about you absorbing this in terms of understanding the meaning of the card. So there's a lot of blue in this card, and blue is symbolic of emotion, and it's also symbolic of water. And the classical element for this card, as given by the Golden Dawn, is water, which is about emotion, about your conscious and your unconscious. If we think of water in the tarot and you think of the minor arcana, water is cups. Water pours into a vessel and it forms the shape of whatever vessel it's poured into, or it goes out into the world, fills the oceans, is part of the sky, is part of everything that we come into contact with, including being part of ourselves. I think we're 80% water or something like that. Anyway, the other symbolism that is part of this card to do with the Golden Dawn, and again, Arthur Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith were members of the Golden Dawn, so the symbolism of this card relates back to that, is the moon. So this idea of feminine energy, immortality, enlightenment. So in this card, we've got symbolism of feminine energy. We've symbolism of the moon. So she's wearing this beautiful headdress, and the headdress is called a moon crown, and it is reminiscent of the feminine symbol or the Empress symbol with the two crescent moons and the full moon in the center. And the moon crown represents the mother goddess, the Egyptian goddess Isis, or the triple goddess I was talking about with the half moons and the full moon in the center. You've also got moon symbolism down here, and you've got this idea of out the back here, well, you could say it's blueness of clear blue sky, or you could say it's darkness, because if you think about the sky blending into the sea, which happens when you're looking out into the darkness. And so there's this idea of looking out into our unconscious. The veil behind is, you can see it's black and white, which is feminine and masculine energy. And there's repetition of feminine and masculine energy all through this card. You've got the palms, which are symbolic of masculine energy, and the pomegranates, which are like a womb. You've got the little seeds in there, which are reminiscent of fertility and new life, and the round shape, which is reminiscent of the moon. You've then got the two columns, and the two columns are black for feminine energy and white for masculine energy. Jachin, J is short for Jachin, which is he shall, and Boaz, which is established strength. So he shall, which is masculine energy, and Boaz, which is established strength, the strength of the feminine energy in this card. And when we talk about masculine and feminine energy, we're not talking about male and female. We're talking about feminine energy in terms of your softer or more unconscious energy, your flow in your life, and your masculine energy, which is about doing and going out there in the world. And ideally, we want a balance of both in our lives, hence the veil with the symbolism of both there. The columns are also reminiscent of the Temple of Solomon. And the Temple of Solomon has an enormous amount of history, which we don't need to know, except that it was knocked down and rebuilt, which is about establishing your spiritual strength. That's what the symbolism there and the intent of it. If we look, you can see the blue in behind. The blue in this card is just extraordinary. So you've got the blue in behind, you've got the blue cape, and it's flowing down as if it's water. So this is about emotion, and how the emotion is blending in with the High Priestess and with her feminine energy. The veil separates us from the ocean, the sky, the unconscious world, and the conscious world. Looking at this card, we can also see the Torah, which is there's talk about what that actually means. It could mean that it is the Book of Thoth, or and there is, there was a man called Cord to Jeblin. I've got so much to talk to you about in terms of the history of the tarot, who talked about the tarot being related back to Thoth, who was a great emperor in Egypt, who wrote a whole lot of wisdom that's been translated, and the tarot apparently relates into that. The tarot relates into a lot of things, including the Hermetic Kabbalah, which is where a lot of mysticism and magic comes from. And so it could be that she's holding that. It could be that she's, again, it says Torah, which is argued is an anagram of tarot, that she's holding the book of tarot, or essentially the book of wisdom. So this is a card about your unconscious wisdom. And it's interesting that the next card is the Empress, which is also a card of feminine energy, and a card of more your conscious feminine energy. Actually, I'll find her in here. I think she's just the High Priestess here. And I won't spoil her because she's got lots of wonderful energy as well. And you see there's two women here. So it's a celebration of feminine energy, which is about, again, your softer side, but it's also a celebration of women. So I do enjoy these two cards because I am very aware that the Rider-Waite Smith is quite male orientated, and there's a lot of men in the cards. And these two cards are probably the strongest women, apart from the Strength card, number 8, which shows the woman opening the lion's mouth. These are probably the strongest women in the deck. So we'll definitely go into the symbolism of the Empress card as well. But there is an unconscious feminine energy and a conscious feminine energy, which is depicted in those two cards. So that is the Empress card. I'm just thinking, is there anything else I need to talk to you about? And I don't think there is. Oh, the cross on her chest. That's just about a spirituality in general. And the cross is it's a universal symbol of spirituality, not just for Christian religion. So that's the High Priestess. I can't think of anything else to tell you. It's a very powerful card. The blue in particular is so symbolic in this card of the emotion, the unconscious emotion that is flowing from this card. Having the power to listen to your intuition and step into the power of your intuition to guide you in your life. Take care, everybody. That's the High Priestess. And I'll be back very soon with the next card, which is the Empress. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell, because I have uploads happening all the time, and I'm not just doing these symbolism videos, I'm doing lots of other videos as well, and we are going to be doing some work on the history of the tarot, which I cannot wait to start, because I'm going to be sharing my reading journal with you, and I can't wait. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.